How I Discovered My Gender Identity by Flora Duffy. I was born and raised on the tiny, beautiful island of Bermuda to Charlie and Maria Duffy. I was the second of three children and the only girl sandwiched between two boys. I was not the little girl my mom was expecting, and by that I mean the girl she could dress in adorable little dresses and put ribbons and bows in my hair. I had a different agenda that involved short hair, playing in the mud, red high tops, and my favorite overalls that I refer to as straps. So before I take you on my journey describing how I discovered my identity and what it means to me to act feminine, let me first describe femininity. Femininity is a set of attributes, behaviors, and roles associated with females. Femininity is shaped and defined by cultural and social factors. Acting feminine can have a different meaning depending on where one lives in today's society in the U.S. Being feminine involves dressing a certain way, being well-spoken, and being well put together. For example, brushing one's hair and wearing a little bit of makeup. To me, being feminine is about being comfortable in your body and embracing what makes you a strong and powerful woman. I have always been a tomboy, but that does not mean I'm not feminine. I grew up playing every sport possible and even sometimes playing on the boys' teams. My mom could never get me to wear a dress, and I had very short hair, a boy's haircut. At elementary school, we had to wear uniforms, blue and white check summer dresses for the girls and khaki shorts and white button-up shirts for the boys. I often got asked why I was wearing a dress because people would mistake me for a boy. At the time, it did not bother me because why would it? I was 6 years old and I had no idea what gender roles I had to abide by in order to display my femininity and be considered female. Years later, I can remember my best friend, who I met in first grade, tell me that on the first day of school, her mom had seen me in the girls' line with my dress on and super short boy hair and wondered why there was a little boy in the girls' line. It's something we laugh about now. I have two brothers, one is older and the other younger than me. Sandwiched between two boys, it's no surprise I turned out to be such a tomboy. Yeah, I like to ride bikes, climb trees, rollerblade, play soccer, and build tree houses, but I did also like to play with Barbies and dolls, and I think my parents liked that reassurance that I did like to do some girly things. When I was about 10 years old, a new family moved in next door, who had a daughter the same age as me. My mom can remember the first time I met Christine. She was wearing a dress, her hair was in pigtails and curls, and she was skipping. I came over in my straps, high tops, and unbrushed hair. That was the last time Christine wore a dress, much to the dislike of her mother. From then on, we were best friends who climbed trees, built tree forts, and jumped out of trees onto her trampoline. Now looking back, I find it funny Christine's mom had such a problem with Christine's new dress sense. When it came to Halloween, unlike most girls who dressed up as Snow White or Jasmine from Aladdin, I was a vampire. Every year, when my mom asked me what I wanted to be for Halloween, I said the same thing, a vampire. Even if she tried to persuade me to be something else, I would not budge. I had to be a vampire with my face painted white, black eyes, blood pouring out of my mouth, and hair slicked back. I would like to point out that there was nothing sexy about this costume. It was not until I was 14 years old that I was something different for Halloween, a Spice Girl, and of course I was Sporty Spice. Growing up, I was really into running and swimming. Training for these two sports took up most of my time, leaving me with little time to spend with my friends. When I did spend time with my friends, it was usually after swim training, so I would have wet hair, goggle marks around my eyes, and smell of chlorine. Not a cute look, especially when you're a 14-year-old teenager who has just decided boys are the coolest thing ever. Needless to say, my friends were getting into makeup and doing their hair before school to try and impress the boys. I wasn't. In fact, if I came to school with dry hair I was having a good day. Fast forward through middle and high school, I continued to excel in sports, and that is how I discovered my identity and confidence, even though at times I was being unfeminine. In high school, I started to notice boys, which influenced how I dressed and acted. I started to care about my appearance a little more, and suddenly having my eyebrows waxed and hair highlighted was higher on my priority list. Although I'm not sure why, because my hair was always pulled back and wet, so no one could ever notice my highlights. I guess it made me feel better and more a part of the crowd, as everyone else was doing it. Social norms of how high school girls acted became more apparent to me, and something I was slowly conforming to. I started dating a boy at my high school who I was ridiculously into. It was one of those stereotypical high school sweetheart relationships where we thought we would be together forever. Anyways, having a boyfriend further influenced my femininity and how I should behave for him to be attracted to me. Although my actions did not change much, I was just now aware of how I should act. I also noticed that he felt threatened by how good of an athlete I was. I was a much faster runner and he did not like that. I personally loved it and thrived off of it. Now that I'm at college, I try and dress more girly and wear some makeup to try and attract male attention, like most girls my age. But I'm still the same girl who would rather be mountain biking in the mountains or wearing athletic gear with my hair pulled back messy. Early on in my college career, I joined a sorority. During Rush, when every sorority girl is looking their best, I was sporting road rash and bruises all down my legs and arms, thanks to a mountain bike crash. Needless to say, I was not looking like the prim and proper girl shuffling around the house because my body hurt so much. It was then I realized I was not the sorority type and should just stick to sports. I am thankful that my parents did not enforce gender roles on me as a child and make me wear dresses and long hair. By them allowing me to grow up as a sports-loving, active girl and somewhat unfeminine girl, it has shaped me into the confident, strong-willed, independent woman I am today. Yes, I do like to dress girly now and wear makeup, but you'll still find me wearing my hair wet messy because I do not have time to do it because I'm too busy going from training session to training session. I am not self-conscious about having to look or dress a certain way or having to look perfect to fit the ideals of being a woman. I'm quite happy to pull my wet, unbrushed hair back, put on some mascara, and feel perfectly feminine.